on a new level. You know I'm on a new level.
Welcome back to Kings at the Table podcast, where if you're a king, you belong at the table. Juan, we just finished week 10. We had a lot of ups and downs and, some kind of block shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Bullshit.
My team, they ended up losing to a blocked field goal. The Denver Broncos lost to the Kansas City Chiefs to a blocked field goal.
Bro, that shit was so fucking... I was irritated watching that shit, bro. I couldn't believe it. I really thought, I was like I was telling you earlier, man, like the whole game, I was like, you know what? We're going to see these bullshit calls. You know what I mean? Hey, we're all seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no point in really talking about it like that, but I mean, hey, it does factor in. But at the same time, bro, like every other time when there was a flag, it was like, oh, something against the Broncos. I was like, why am I not surprised? But the fact that you guys took them all the way down there and you guys should have won that damn game. That bullshit block field goal, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they got
You guys beat him. I think you guys beat him even against the calls, which is the craziest thing, because a lot of the times, what's been the storyline lately, everybody loses at the end because of a call, but you guys had it all the way through with that one fucking field goal.
Yeah, it kind of hurt, but at the same time, like you said, it's kind of like we already seen it all year as far as these calls. But one thing that stood out to that last play was how they broke down this lineman on the special teams, the scouting report. And I guess these past couple of weeks, he's been doing the same old shit every week. You're obviously supposed to be on your toes when you block and you scoot back. Well, he's always on his heels. And it was like clearly like...
straight exposed.
Exposed, but like, what are you doing, dog? It was like literally just having a chair out there and they just pushed the chair over.
Folded like a lawn chair.
Folded like a damn lawn chair and they blocked the shot. They won. They're still undefeated. It sucked because that was Bo Nix's time to shine.
That would have been the one, too.
Right? You just beat the division rival, Pat Mahomes. They're undefeated. And we go into becoming Arrowhead, but becoming 6-4 and still having a chance.
In your division.
Yeah, so it was a tough loss.
Yeah, that one did suck. Bo Nix played a good game, too. I mean, Mahomes still was, he's still looking the same. He hasn't really been too impressive this year, but I mean, he's doing, I guess, just enough to get it done. What about the hot mic, bro? How do you feel about that one?
Oh, his telling the refs, asking
his little
the refs.
hot mic.
Yeah. What was it?
It was like, hey, let me know when he's coming in closer, something like that. But like, bro, I mean, do you want to just throw it out in our face a little bit harder? Like, hey, if he's there, let me know right away so I can throw it.
I mean, that was the first time I've heard something like that, though.
I know that shit's hella weird though.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
just to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just weird just hearing that. Like, you could never imagine anybody else saying some shit like that. That'd be crazy.
Not even Brady.
But I mean, hey, it might have been just a little ha ha he he. But I mean, man,
definitely,
you're not really showing that it was fake.
Yeah, well, one team that's not fake right now is the Baltimore Ravens. They beat the Bengals by 1 point on Thursday night. Hell of a game, Juan.
Shootout.
I mean, you're talking Joe Burrow throwing up 4 touchdowns, Lamar throwing up 4 touchdowns.
Jamar Chase having a field day, 260-something.
264.
264 and 3 tuggies.
3 tuggies, man.
Bro, imagine you have him on fantasy. You won your fantasy week with just that alone.
Oh, man, I was in a group text, and my boy had Lamar and Chase.
He won.
Yeah.
He could have benched everybody. Yeah. He could have benched everybody, and he still would have won.
He had 100 points with 2 guys on Thursday night. I mean, it was insane.
That's ridiculous. But you know what? It's hard to give these guys props considering the fact they're in my division and all. But you know what, though? My hat's off to at least Cincinnati attempting to win the game. A lot of the times lately, what have we been seeing? Be conservative, just take the tie or whatever. But, like, for them to have the balls to just be like, you know what? Fuck it. This is going to be for the win. At least go for it. But 3 face masks in 1 play, bro, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, at the end, I mean, they should have thrown a flag.
At least one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, hey. That's the way football's been going lately, you know what I mean?
It has, but at the same time, Jamar Chase, did you hear what he said after the game?
What was that?
They kind of asked him about, on that last play, how did you feel about not getting targeted? And he said, you know what, it seems like every time I'm open, not every time, but he's like, I'm open a lot of times, but not all the time Joe Burrow doesn't see me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, bro, you just had a career night, 264, 3 touchdowns, and yet you still had to make it about you not getting the ball in the last play?
That's ego right there, bro. That's the ego. But then at the same time, too, dude, like, he just wants his paycheck. I think that's another thing that he's pushing. But, I mean,
I mean, I get that, but like, you feel me? Okay. You had a hell of a night. You probably should have got the ball.
Yeah. At least a glance.
Huh?
At least like a glance over.
Yeah. But to come out like that and be like, yeah, you know, he doesn't always see me when I'm open. It's like, come on, bro. He clearly sees you when you're open. You had 264 goddamn yards, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's an ego, bro. He's got that Chad Ochocinco shit going in right now.
Is it a Bengal thing?
It might be a Bengal thing, bro, because that's where it's been coming from.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with the egos.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing, but still, yeah.
For sure. Well, hey, you brought up them egos. They beat the Cowboys 34-6. Cowboys are obviously missing Dak Prescott. Doesn't look good.
Were they really, though? Were they really?
Yeah,
I think the score would have been the same probably with Dak.
It probably would have.
I mean, Dallas. Just Dallas. Like, what do you... I seen a meme the other day, and it was hella funny because they were having an intervention with this guy, and they're like, "Are you even from, Texas or Dallas?" "No, I grew up in West Virginia." And he goes, "What the hell? Why do you have to be loyal to these guys?" He's like, "Well, I just grew up with them." I'm like, man, right now I think everybody's getting ready to kind of clean house, including Jerry.
Yeah, it's time. I mean, obviously it looks like they're going to start taking now that they have Dak benching the whole year.
Yeah, I mean, what are you really playing for now? You're at the bottom of your division, I believe. I mean, unless you're ahead of the Giants, but I mean, is that really considered being ahead of somebody?
Yeah, you're right there.
So, like, I mean, what's the point of, even... Well, I mean, you got to play, but still, I think it's time to start looking for the future and start thinking about what moves you're going to make this offseason, especially with, we've mentioned it a couple times with Micah Parsons. What are you going to do about that situation, But, I mean, nonetheless, let's, give the props to the Eagles, man. They're still firing on all cylinders. That defense is looking good. They're kind of putting it all together now. They're starting to gel really good. So it's going to be interesting seeing them these next couple of weeks, seeing if they keep that same pressure going, especially since they're playing against the Washington Commanders this Thursday night.
Yeah, that's
going to be a good one.
That's going to be a hell of a game. I mean, that could possibly be for the division right there. I mean, you're talking about a 7-2 team in the Eagles. They're starting to heat up. Looks like Jalen Hurts is getting a little comfortable with Barkley back there. I think he's starting to understand, hey, maybe you probably could lead the team. Or both of us kind of thing. In the beginning, I mentioned, I was just like, it felt like Hurts was, in a way, some type of jealousy of Barkley getting all the attention and saying it's like Barkley's team somewhat, which at this point, I mean, he's still putting up them crazy numbers, Barkley. But, I mean, they're gelling on all cylinders.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the passing game, too. Jalen Hurts is finding everybody he needs to find and everything. So the Eagles are on a good track right now.
Let's get into the Cardinals, though. I mean, they're shocking everyone. They're 6-4 on top of the division, and they just pretty much banged the Jets, 31-6.
I mean, this Jets thing is just fucking just crashing.
Yeah.
I think this is taking everybody back a whole different way because, I mean, think about it. Everyone is like, oh, the Jets this, the Jets that. And considering the fact that, possibly that they were going to be run their division, which they had a chance, and especially with the addition of Devontae Adams. You talking
about me right now or what? Because that's what the hell I said.
But, I mean, bro, it's crazy because they're really fucking bad, dude. They're really bad. It's hard to watch. It's almost like, I mean, is Aaron Rodgers even there, really?
Yeah, I would put a lot of the blame on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, how can you not? You're supposed to be this top quarterback, and you got yourself to New York. I get the injury happened, which it has to be tough at this age. But you brought in your guy, Devontae Adams, and for him to still agree to go there, and yet you guys haven't done anything. You guys haven't showed anything. You haven't shown no spark of the Green Bay Packers old days or whatnot, but Devontae Adams doesn't even seem like he's a factor in the game.
I mean, I forget at times that he's there. I'm not even going to lie to you, bro.
Dead ass.
I'm just like, oh, yeah, they do have Devontae. You'll see him at the end of a play. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck, yeah. But, it's a trip, dude, because, he was really a non-factor on that team. And that's crazy to say, considering the fact that was the biggest, deal happening at the trade deadline. Oh, shit, Devontae's going to New York. And that shit quickly folded on them way faster than I think anybody really anticipated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that sucks for the Jets fans because, I mean, you were expecting contending the last 2 years, and you haven't contended for shit.
You haven't even had a chance.
Fuck.
You haven't even smelt the fart yet, bro. You're right there with the Patriots.
Yeah,
right?
It's pretty bad. But, yeah, the Patriots, you brought them up. They beat the Bears, and the Bears are struggling. They fired their offensive coordinator. Caleb doesn't look like the guy he looked like in the beginning of the year, but you mentioned throughout the time that the Bears' schedule is going to get tough.
Yes.
And they just had an easy game. It was supposed to be. They lost.
Supposedly.
And now it's going to get even tougher.
Yeah, they got the Niners, I think, looking forward ahead, and there's a couple other good games that they're gonna have to either go there or play at home. But I mean, it's not gonna be a nice kind of like situation for Caleb, especially like how you mentioned in the beginning of the year, he was set up for success. You know what I mean? He had the receivers, he had the defense, he had the running backs, he's had all these things that are right there for him, and they still can't put it together. And like now you're kind of looking at this whole Chicago situation, man, and it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
Trubisky had a great start, right? Remember when he first came in, and then what happened like 2-3 years later? Boom, crash. What's the problem? It's Trubisky's the problem. Justin Fields comes in. Justin Fields has a pretty nice little start, and then all of a sudden, boom, that collapses. Now you got Caleb. It's a third, bro. Like it's repeating itself every single time.
Yeah, I mean, they just need a really good coach. Like, they always have the talent, you would think. I mean, on paper,
sure.
right? On paper.
Sure.
But, I mean, just throw Belichick over there. Like, let him build up Caleb. I mean, you got all the talent.
Why not? I mean, it starts with the coach. You got to have people believe into the system. And if nobody's really believing, and it's always these random ass coaches that the Bears are getting, bro. I think like the last time I can remember them having a good coach was like John Fox. Remember when he went over there after he left Carolina? Yeah,
Broncos.
Yeah, so that's the last time I could remember they had a good coach.
Yeah.
Like really think about it. Who they had before? Matt Nagy. Was it Matt Nagy, the quarterback whisperer? And what did he do? Nothing. And then, bro, it's a joke there. They need to ownership really needs to fucking fix their management first before they start making moves for all this other stuff. At least build the system first.
And one thing we have to mention is how DJ Moore seems to be very unhappy. And there was this clip that you showed
against the Cardinals game.
Bro,
the play was just started. He already runs up and then he's like, "Fuck this," and just basically walks to the bench. Like, what does that show? Like. I mean, I'm interpreting it two different ways. If you look at it from probably the player's perspective, he's probably like, bro, this motherfucker ain't even looking for me. I'm supposed to be a big target, and this fool ain't even looking for me. Or B, he's just really giving up on this team. Like, he doesn't even want to be there anymore. I mean, you see how butthurt he got when Justin Fields left.
Well, that was his boy.
Yeah.
He was hoping to be with them. But, I mean, that's a great way of looking at it because those are two of the perspectives of that play. But at the same time, it's like, when does DJ Moore take accountability? Like, okay, I get that the ball didn't go to you, but, like, the play is not over, and you're walking outside the sidelines. Like,
he was on the bench before the play was over.
Yeah. I mean, you had Caleb scrambling to the right, trying to find that side of the field, and he was scrambling to the sideline. So what I'm saying is, okay, however you're feeling towards this player or team, how is it that another team's going to want you on their team? Now you have to start thinking of that. This is your career, bro.
True.
This is your attitude. People are looking at this. Yeah, you might be a hell of a player, but they're like, hold on. Hey.
Another ego.
A head coach goes to the general manager. Hey, can you bring in DJ Moore? General manager's going to look at it. He's going to see that play. And like, hey, I don't want that shit on my team.
How are you going to get him to not do that?
Yeah.
I mean, he already quit. Was that quiet quitting? Quiet quitting?
Basically.
That's what it is.
So, I mean, it sucks to see that from DJ Moore.
Because he's still hella good and he's young still.
But since you brought up your boy Justin Fields, let's get into them Pittsburgh Steelers. Ooh. I mean, them Steelers are 7-2. They just beat the Washington Commanders in Washington against the Hot Daniels. What happened, Juan?
I mean, what do you mean what happened? We went in there, we handled business. Actually, I'm not even going to lie. For a while, I was like, okay, we're in it. And they took that lead. And I thought to myself, man, I was like looking at it. I was like, you know what? They're up 27-21. They got the ball. They're moving the ball a little bit. I'm like, shit. You know what? If we lose this one, I'll accept this loss. There's sometimes there's ones where you just like, you know what, man? Fuck it. They're good. They're hot. It was gonna come to an end. The whole Russell Wilson magic is gonna have to run out eventually. But my dude did not disappoint because he hit Mike Williams for that 32-yarder. At the end of that game, bro, oh my God, I was fucking losing my shit. I was like, oh damn, his first target, walk-off touchdown. I'll take that every day.
It was kind of like just...
That shit hung in the air for hella long, dude.
Yeah, like a basketball shot.
For real. So I was like, oh shit.
That's badass, though. I mean, they obviously had them draw offsides. That won the game also.
That really did win the one, but damn, dude, that sucks. The rookie jump. But you know what, though? I'm not blaming him too hard on that one because it was what's that, fight or fright or whatever, bro. Like, it was coming down to the wire, and we would have had to snap the ball. We had to snap it, so he was just trying to get it, and Russ got it. Russ got it just in time and made him jump. Poor rookie, though. But I'll take the W. You know what I mean?
They said your run game is back, though, with Warren back, and you guys are splitting the carries with...
Yeah, it was a very interesting stat. I was looking at that one. It was hella weird to say that we ran for like 2-something, and Najee didn't even have 100 yards or something like that. Like, he had like 40-something yards out of all of them, which was hella weird. I forgot how they worded the stat, but it hella did not make sense. You're like, what? What do you mean? Like, if I were to tell you that, oh, yeah, the Steelers ran for 140, you would automatically assume that, like, oh, yeah, Najee probably got like 70 or 80 yards. But I think he got less than like 50.
Maybe Russ. Russ was on his legs or something.
Hey, Russ has been moving her a little bit here and there. So,
well, what are your thoughts about Russ, Juan? Because, last year I was the one that was biased and saying, what the fuck is up with this guy Rich talking about Russ like that?
I mean, hey, he still had it. He still has it. I mean, he's proven it. But, it's what I've been kind of like saying all season long as of lately is that it's really going to depend on what he's going to do right here going forward, because this is the part of our schedule that we gotta show up every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, fucking Saturday, whatever it may be, Christmas especially, because that's the day we got the Chiefs. So, but yeah, we got all division games and all these hard games coming up. So this is really gonna see if Russ is built for it.
Hey, Russ beat them Chiefs last year. Remember that, just to give you a thought.
Yeah.
Let's go into this next one though. We got the Dolphins and the Rams on Monday night. It was 23-15. Dolphins won. It wasn't a really entertaining game, honestly. I was just like, I couldn't get into it.
Sometimes it sucks because, like, in the beginning of the year, you look at these games and you're just like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a good-ass game. And as we get to the season, teams thin out, injuries happen and everything like that. And like this one, you're going into it, you're like, man, there's not really much to watch here. And sure enough, it really wasn't. But one thing that we will take away is that, we had we have to go on Tua watch a little bit.
Oh, man.
And he smacked his head one time on the sack.
Yeah.
And then, bro, can you run that one to me? Like, why would you attempt to tackle homeboy head first?
I can't even tell you the answer because I'm still shocked that he came back this early. But at the same time, yeah, you're mentioning how this play went down, and he went to try to tackle him, and it looked like the knee hit his head, and he's lucky he didn't get another concussion. I mean, let's keep it real.
For real.
Like
we got to sit here on Tua watch because we don't know what's going to happen the next time he gets hit.
For sure.
And it sucks. Like, you're more concerned about somebody's health really hard during the game than trying to enjoy the game, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And what's up with Tyreek Hill? He ain't getting no targets. Like, I'm not understanding what's going on in their offense.
I think everything's just so out of whack because, he got taken out early. So maybe, McDaniels probably had to be like, bro, we got to come up with a whole different scheme, a whole different thing. But, I mean, still.
I mean, you're talking Tyreek Hill. Come on now. When's the last time you heard of him?
the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, man. There's something weird going on
something
over there.
very fishy over there, huh?
Pins up.
For sure. Let's see. The Bills. The Bills are rolling hot. They're 8-2. They beat the Colts 30-20. Josh Allen had no passing touchdowns, but yeah, he put up 280.
They're surprising me still, because I went into this season thinking to myself, like, you know what, man, these dudes, they ain't gonna really be able to hang with anybody just because of the fact that they lost a lot of players, especially on the receiving core and everything like that. But they didn't even skip a beat, bro. They're just still rolling. They're still doing Buffalo type shit, and they're kicking ass on the way there. Yeah, they had two tough games, but still hats off to them, bro. Like, they're really moving. They're kind of scary a little bit.
Yeah, they're like the sleeping giant.
For reals, yeah. They're top legit threat.
I mean, they're 8-2. Like, come on now. You lost Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and yet you're still
very relevant.
I don't even know, like, if I could. I don't know. Like, there's something about the Bills still, though. Like, I don't know if I could.
It's the Josh Allen effect.
Yeah, he just has to show me, kind of how Lamar is with you.
Yeah. He's got to prove that one over.
But we've been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
I mean, you're my Lamar is your Josh Allen.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
One of them's gonna have to eventually do it.
One of them, if one of them doesn't do it, or if neither one of them do it, bro, that's gonna be so disappointing to see. They're gonna be one of those guys that are like, man, fucking, hey dad, how good was Lamar Jackson? Or hey dad, how good was Josh Allen? Like,
but they're gonna have two different perspectives because
exactly.
your son will ask you, my son will ask me, and we'll be saying two different things of the two players.
And then they're gonna hella tell each other the same shit. This argument will never end.
Right? Straight up.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
Let's see. One more. Oh, the Niners.
You know what, man? I know we don't say things like this, but Debo, that was the most punk shit I've ever fucking seen, bro. Like, I've seen a lot of some crazy shit, especially like on some sidelines when you have egos get out of hand. Especially like we've had the fucking AB losing his fucking mind on that game against the Jets, and then we also had the one where he was pissed off when we played against the Jaguars and he throws the fucking cooler on the field and shit. But what Debo did to that long snapper, bro, that shit was fucked up. I'm sorry to say, that shit was just disgusting to me.
Well, I'm not agreeing with it at all as far as how he acted. I don't even know the reasoning of him going after the long snapper because it was the kicker that missed. I understand the frustration, and the long kicker came in to step in, right?
Yeah.
And he was pretty much saying, like, back up, I'm not talking to you.
Yep. So I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, I didn't like it as far as, if it happened in the locker room, let it happen in the locker room.
Don't let the public see.
Right?
I think that's more of a, correct me behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
Let's handle this in the locker room.
Yeah. Let whatever happens in the locker room happen there versus letting, hey, everybody, check this out. I'm pissed off. I'm going to try to fucking punch my kicker type shit. But you know what? I kind of can see his frustrations. The dude did miss 3 field goals.
That's what I'm saying. He should have did that to Moody.
So
if he felt a certain type of mood, he should have did it to Moody.
Yeah, show him your mood.
Right?
But, this is going back to, I think, 2 years ago now. And what did I always say about this 49ers team? I was like, hey, look, everything on this team, on piece of paper, everything checks all the fucking boxes. The one thing I have the biggest concern on is the fucking kicker.
You did say that.
And now that shit's biting him in the ass. Yes, they pulled off the win against the Bucks, but still, that shit could have... That's 9 points you missed out on. So that's still crazy to believe that, this guy does have a job. Considering the fact that he's missed a couple clutch field goals. Especially like last year, he blew the one against the Browns. That one just sticks out to me the most.
No, for sure. But, at some point, I don't understand how they're not getting a kicker. Like, whatever happened to Gold? Like, he was the guy.
Yeah.
Robbie Gold.
Do you think he's still available?
Go get him.
But I think he wants hella bread. That might be it. But, shit, that saves wins. And you get points on the fucking board.
Give him bread, lettuce, tomatoes, whatever he wants, bro.
Fuck bologna or ham.
Fuck it, man. That's what they need. But whatever they want. They got Brock Purdy put up 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey's back. Do you think the Niners are back?
It's still too early to tell. We got to wait and see. You know what I mean? I think we need to wait a little bit and see because, it was one game. We'll see what happens next week when the load gets a little bit bigger for McCaffrey and stuff like that. So I just want to see how this is going to gel. Maybe we'll find out in about 2 weeks if they're really back or what's really going to go on.
I agree. About you? Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's too early to tell. But
it's not like the division's out of the race for them. They can still make a move going forward as far as continuing to get into the division or a wild card spot.
Yeah, their defense ain't that good this year though.
Yeah.
Like they lost a couple of players and it's like they don't look dominant on defense.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that. You know what's one thing that did stand out to me that was pretty fucking weird? Did you ever get a chance to check out that play where Baker's running running towards the sideline, and he's just got Bosa in a stiff arm.
4 down, right?
How the fuck did Bosa not take him down? He walked Bosa all the way to the sideline and then threw the ball.
Hey, Baker's a dog though.
I know he's a dog, but still, that shit was blowing my mind. I was like, bro, anybody else, Bosa would have ran that ass over, but for some reason, Baker put in the clutch on his ass and said, no.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy though. That was a weird ass play. I had to say that one out.
That one stood out to you?
Yeah, that one was a very strange one. But the other one, just a real quick touch on this one, is that Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans game.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but for sure.
That stat line right there was weird. 4 interceptions? Was it
5?
5 picks.
Oh, another one in there, yeah.
5 picks and you still lose? What kind of shit is that, bro?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's two ways of looking at it. That just shows you how
Good
much
the Lions are.
how much of a grit that the Lions have, that they don't ever give up, and they have a hell of a team, even though Goff threw 5 interceptions. At the same time, Texans. Like, what's up, dog? Like,
Well, there's that other weird stat that I was telling you about. 4 straight games. 4 straight games, people. 4. CJ Stroud has not thrown a touchdown in the second half of a game. 4 straight weeks, bro. That's fucking crazy, considering the fact of the fucking bombs he was throwing last year. And, like, it almost seemed like every time he touched the ball, they were scoring a touchdown. But this year, like, ineffective in that second half, which is very strange. And going back to what you said, it was kind of like one of those feels, like, like you said, you're like, man, there's something weird about this Houston team. I don't really know what it is yet. But now that, some things got brought into light, because that's what we do here at Kings at the Table. We always, bring things out into the light. That's what it was, Rich. And I mean, how are you looking at this whole Houston situation now?
yeah, I mean, I just think that they are starting to catch on to them. Now, I'm not going to say they're not a contending team. I mean, you lost Diggs. Collins will be coming back. But it's more of they're starting to catch on to some of the weaknesses that CJ has. And when you're talking about that stat line of second half, that shows you that coaches are starting to adjust to the second half. I mean, the first half, they let them do what they got to do. They show their cards, and they adjust. And it's been 4 games straight. He hasn't thrown a touchdown.
That's the crazy thing.
In the second half?
In the second half, bro. That's the time you need the most. You need is 4 points. I think all they've done this year in those last 4 games is field goals. That's crazy, dude. You're only going to put up, like, the most you're going to get out of a kicker possibly in a half, bro, is like 9 points. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that shit's just, that's a crazy thing.
I mean, hats off to the Lions, though. I mean, you're 8-1, and you went into Houston and still pulled it off.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Last one, Juan, though, is the Chargers.
The quiet shell defense right there.
Yeah, they beat
leading the league and fewest points allowed.
They beat the Titans 27-17. Justin Herbert is leading the pack, but the defense, like you just said.
That defense is something. They're hella quiet, dude. A lot of people ain't paying attention to them, but if you can't score a lot of points against them, bro, how you gonna beat them? And especially if they still got that run game, dude. That fucking run game is hitting still. JK is a fucking beast. And I think this week they're getting back Gus Edwards, too.
Gus Edwards played this last week, yes.
Yeah, see? So that's what I'm saying. You got a double-headed monster over there. And
that's hard. That's hardball for you. I mean, that's running and defense, strictly, and game managing. That's one thing that's very underrated in the NFL is learning how to run not just the style of play, but the clock.
Yeah.
You got to know when to call the right plays as far as making a big play. That's what Kyle Shanahan's problem is. He does a lot of big plays, but doesn't manage the game.
Yeah.
So I think Harbaugh does that very well.
He's doing it very well right now, especially with those Chargers, bro. They're the little quiet ones, man. If you guys were to have pulled that one off against the Chiefs, that would have been hella helpful getting that division, especially with those guys.
For sure. Juan, can you close this out? One time I'm having trouble over here.
All right, man. You know what we always say here, if you're a king, you belong at the table. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you let a couple people know. Every now and again, lately, my man Rich over here has been doing a couple raffles here for Sacramento Kings games.
For sure.
So if you ever guys want to get in, make sure you guys stay tuned and put them notifications on. We'll catch you guys on the next